Guys, we have got the old gang back together.
Mm.
I'm actually Brazil D&T today. You
Yeah?
guys want to see it?
Yeah, okay. Oh wow, look at that!
Hey!
Oh my god.
the DNT shirt, boys. Okay.
The D&T shirt.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, do they need a pistol theory crafter for DNT? Is that what?
It's the best build in the game. It's
Yeah.
better than Deadeye.
Yeah, because you used to play Deadeye, but now
I played
you've
Deadeye,
moved on.
yeah.
You've moved on to the next level. You've ascended, if you will, to the next level, to pistol thief. You know, and I think maybe that's a good place to start. Actually, we can talk a little about the balance, the design philosophy of ArenaNet, what's going on, right? And and well, it's funny that Brazil releases a pistol video and then they start reworking Deadeye as well. What a coincidence, guys.
It's funny how that's consistently happened for like 5 years, huh? Still have some fans at ArenaNet.
Yeah. So I mean, you've moved away from Deadeye. Why did you move away from Deadeye? That's the question I would have to ask.
So problems that I had with Deadeye are mostly like Rifle 4. It's just kind of clunky. You have to really be finicky and precise to get it to work correctly. Whereas like Shortbow, easy money. So Deadeye, I played Dagger Pistol and Rifle. My only like real mobility and escape was Rifle 4 or whatever. But whenever I got bursted down really, really hard by Pistol Thief, I just thought, all right, I'm gonna try this.
Yeah,
Turns out that's the best build in the entire game.
Yeah.
So it's legitimately, I would honestly call it broken. It's just too strong. Play Core Thief. Don't even bother with Daredevil. Like, you don't need the mobility. You don't need dodges. Like, you don't need work. The thing is, when somebody comes to fight you, you don't have to dodge. You press haste and you press unload, and they're dead. That simple. Guardian comes and he thinks, I'm just gonna block this Basilisk Venom, and it's over. And the thing about it is that you start with Basilisk Venom that stuns them, but you take their health down so fast that you immediately get Panic Strike and they're immobilized. And then you steal on them and interrupt them, and they're dead. Like, you just can't go anywhere. It's too much damage. Like, it's just too good. It's too good.
So it's the best. You would say this is the best build in the entire game.
It hard counters Scourge, because Scourge, like, what are you gonna do? You gonna stand on the point and put down your shades? Nah. I'm gonna kill you from range in 3.5 seconds. From full HP, me running to the point, to the Scourge being on respawn. Whenever I engage them, it's approximately 3.5, 4 seconds before they're full dead. Wow. It's just that fast.
Wow. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, maybe you'll be playing Deadeye. Maybe you'll be playing Deadeye. Go ahead, Boots. What are you gonna?
If we go to your channel, we could see a video of this in action.
Yeah.
Yes. You can.
All right.
Do you want me to link it? I have a top secret underground YouTube channel.
Ooh.
I only upload quality hell trash. Let me go get it.
There we go. We'll have some
Brazil.
stuff about that.
Hi, Shadow.
There is another way to kill Scourge,
Yeah,
just
pistol thief.
You take 3 people and you just wail on the Scourge and he's dead.
Alright, so you're committing 3 people to 1 Scourge, and I'm committing a pistol thief. Do you see the problem with that?
Yes, I see the problem.
There's pistol in action with some quality. Tupac Shakur, the best rapper of all time.
Okay, yeah, very good. But you know what? You know what's happening? Arena aren't happy with Deadeye, right? They're not happy with it, okay? And they're actually changing a lot of it, right? They're trying to make it better everywhere, I think. They're trying to make it used in some way, which is interesting, because right now it doesn't really see play at all anywhere, except for trolling people in World vs. World.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they're kind of making initiative, Malice work a little bit like initiative, right? So you're gonna you're gonna build up a lot quicker. It's not gonna be time based. It's gonna be about it's about hitting people, right? It's about hitting the target, and you spend it as well, right? You'll be spending it as well, and they're changing the way Malice works. They're making it integrate with traits a little bit better, and yeah, the Malice 1L scale, based on your attacks going out, and you can kind of use it as a second kind of currency, which is a pretty interesting way of doing it. So the stealth attacks are going to use the Malice, and it's really weird actually, because when we kind of talking about that at one point, when we talking about how what if that, no, actually no, we weren't. Damn, we actually no, we were talking about something. We were talking about something very slightly different. We were talking about like removing some of the power from steel and putting it onto stealth attacks. Actually,
oh, it's Valen. Hi, Valen. I hear that Noodle fought your pistol thief and it beat him. Probably on Druid. That's what he plays. You could probably confirm that it's also OP.
What? Noodles.
Best build in the game. Yeah, Noodle.
Noodle is the famous victim from one of your videos, I believe. Right?
Oh yeah, he is. he trained me. He's why I'm good at PvP now. He's my bro.
Yeah.
My personal coach.
Ventari Revan and Pistol Thief, right? it's pretty good. So obviously we don't really have any numbers to play around with Deadeye just yet, right? But this sort of listen, guys, we've got a full A4 page of stuff about Deadeye. This is the class that no one really cares about at all. And that's pretty interesting. That if they're gonna do that for Deadeye, I'm really excited for the upcoming balance patch for that reason, right? Like they're probably going to do an awful lot of stuff, I think, and it looks like they're actually willing to do some fairly radical redesigns, right? And I think that's a really good thing. That it's going to be some pretty big changes, I think. There's going to be big changes because this is a non-trivial. This is kind of a non-trivial thing here, right? Like, it's not.
Is
just
this
going to
count? Is this like a full balance patch, Joe? Like the one coming on Tuesday is. Did we have like our bonus balance patch a few weeks ago, and this is the actual balance patch, or is this another bonus balance patch?
They may have honestly finally hired a balance team. After 5 years, they may have got it together.
Yeah, maybe they're coming quicker than they have been before.
Yes,
they're actually coming. Yeah,
which is exactly what we need.
Do you
really picked up the pace?
I think it's going to be kind of a selective balance, though. Like, I don't think Chronomancer is going to change in this patch.
You don't think they're going to make any kind of nerfs or anything to it? I don't know, man.
Not for PvP. I think they'll wait till the season's over and then reassess. And
I don't know. If this is a full balance patch, I could see them doing that.
It's what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's a full. I think certain parts will be omitted from balance overall. I mean, they might see some small changes, but I don't think they're going to see significant changes to push them out of the spot they're currently sitting in. As far as PvP goes, right? Because that's where a lot of people are sort of complaining about Chronomancer. I mean, they're complaining about Chronomancer everywhere, but structured PvP in particular, kind of a sore spot for people.
They got banned from a recent tournament.
Yeah, for being boring.
Needs a little bit of a love tap there.
Yeah,
love tap. Yeah,
well, but we're getting underwater changes. We're getting a big change to Deadeye. So.
Here we go. F1, F2. I don't know if this is confirmed or whatever, but Ben said that there are going to be some Chrono Phantasm changes on Twitch. He said apparently, so it looks like we might be getting something anyway. Hopefully, they probably won't.
Yeah, like I said,
I don't think. Well, go ahead, Inks. But I'm just gonna tear your shit down instantly after this.
I don't think thanks. I don't. I just don't think that they're going to do sweeping changes to every single class. I think it's going to be a little more selective than that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But if it's a full balance, I mean, one of the things we know we're getting in this balance patch is something, I guess, a little interesting. We're getting full-on underwater changes class, game wide. And I don't know if that's, I guess that's going to take the brunt of the balance patch. But do you guys have any idea what's coming with that? Do you guys have any idea like what kind of changes they're going to make to, are they going to like give people new weapons? Are they going to, no, it's just going to be changes to the individual skills, you think?
Probably.
I don't think anybody's ever getting new weapons.
Well, no, I don't think they're getting new weapons. I'm really curious as to why they're reworking underwater combat, actually. Really
are you
curious.
serious? Why
Well,
are you curious?
I kind of know why.
Why? I mean, if
Well,
they do,
well,
if they, I don't want another I don't want an underwater raid, and if
Like
they
I don't think
I don't
they're
want
doing this
underwater
in-
fractals.
I don't
okay?
think they're doing this in order to make you able to have an underwater raid or an underwater fractal. But I mean, yes, I guess if it goes well enough, you could do that. But nobody really wants it right now because they know what the experience of underwater is right now, so they don't want that. But if they do a good enough balance patch, then maybe it's on the table finally. But more likely, this is to open up the ability to actually make new maps with water in them.
You're almost right. Almost.
So underwater expansion?
Oh,
No.
God.
That's going to be. I
mean-
have.
Not a underwater
Yeah,
expansion
okay.
necessarily, just the ability to have content in water in the future.
Right.
You're almost there.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. Expose.
I'll
it.
go business.
So they have a game plan for underwater content. Probably like one underwater event. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be a boss in a raid. And so they're going to do this to get the feet wet, so to speak, for people. And so then I would predict that probably like in the living world coming up soon, there's going to be part of it that's underwater. They're going to get people introduced, hope that people don't hate it and embrace it. And then they're going to be able to they probably already plan to go forward and have content planned and designed.
Right.
Just to get people warmed up to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the complete picture.
Yeah, maybe.
I've never lied about anything in this game before, so don't take my word for it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm scared, man. I'm scared. If it's just going to be open world, so I think that's fine. But then again, why rework it? I mean, I don't think there's anything in an open world context. Is there really anything wrong with underwater combat right now?
Are you telling me that if it's not, I don't think it's going to be the next living world map that comes out, but if in the future a living world map or expansion maps comes out that are 60% water based, because let's say if it is Cantha, the Jade Sea melts and you have to have water there and there's stuff underneath it. So you're telling me that people with the current way that balance is and underwater combat is, people wouldn't be like, this sucks? This is a bad idea. They shouldn't have done this?
I mean, yeah, they would be, but I don't think that's anything to do with the balance, though, as such.
I mean, it's also just a glaring thing that's been an issue for a long time now, and it's about time that it's fixed. And if they could fix it, all the better.
Not only that, but I think in the future they want to add challenging content to the underwater spectrum.
Yo.
And in order to do that, a lot of the skills need to be looked at and updated and reworked. There's been a lot of talk about Revenant. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Revenant.
Yeah, I mean,
they have to do a lot of things with it.
pretty much. I mean, almost all of the almost all the skills for Rev just don't do anything underwater, right? I mean, they just
Yeah.
They
Literally. All
have
their,
they have
like,
one weapon
professional
and
skills.
2 legends.
Two legends.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
I wonder though. Okay, so obviously skills are going to change to work better underwater or be balanced underwater. Do you think they're going to be adding things to traits? Like, there's 1 or 2 traits, maybe 1 in every profession that says anything about underwater skills. Like the warrior has the spear trait, for example.
Yeah. Great sword spear.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to be adding anything onto there?
I think they could. I think another thing to consider is that, like, in terms of engine, like, you've got free floating and, like, free moving, like gliding, griffin mount, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could probably apply a lot of that to underwater.
Yeah, but I think that might be like expansion stuff.
There could be underwater masteries too.
Underwater mounts.
But
Ride a fish.
Oh, Jesus.
that's just pure gold right there, honestly.
And you know what that
tuna.
is? That is another mount skin they can sell every time they release more mount skins, dude.
They can
Yes.
sell us sharks.
Yeah.
I want to see like actual underwater necro skills and traits and how broken that is, because Life Blast underwater is probably the strongest skill in the whole game. It's
Probably not
ridiculous.
anymore. Not anymore, though. I mean, I think there's more.
What do you mean not
I mean,
anymore?
not anymore. I mean, there's better stuff now. Everything's more overpowered now, Brazil. It says in vanilla.
No, vanilla
vanilla
necro
goals
Life
too?
Blast, the auto attack in Death Shroud underwater is literally the same thing, but it's 3 times as fast.
Yeah, but I mean, we have stuff like Weaver now, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it loses to necro.
He'll lose. I mean, he loses a Necro because of Epidemic, and that's going away this Tuesday. I can almost guarantee.
Underwater epidemic.
Underwater Epidemic. But with regards to the balance stuff, I actually think we're going to see a huge amount of changes because, so in the last balance patch, they nerfed all the passives, okay, and what that actually did was it actually basically removed them from the game, pretty much. They are so awful now that I think they're almost certainly going to remove them and completely.
Not all of them are the worst, but yes, most of them are.
I guess like the really good one is the Elixir S, right, on NG, and I guess the Endure Pain, but like it's a 90-second cooldown now on that Elixir S. Like that is, I mean,
but it saves a lot of people.
That's just trash. I mean, it's trash. It's I don't know. I think that's such a from a design perspective, I think it's bad, and just from every perspective, it's bad actually. I think it's very lame that you have this 90-second cooldown you have to manage, right? And why would you? They should just delete it, honestly, and give you something else, right? That is more active or some kind of exciting buff, right? Or again, like the one in Guardian. The one in Guardian was already bad, where you can spawn a sanctuary, but now it's on like a 90-second cooldown. No one wants a free sanctuary every 90 seconds. I mean, no one wants that. I don't like that how it is really. I'd rather have something much more exciting than that, and it's just. Having this passive that you can use so infrequently, right, and is kind of cheesy and has no play or counterplay around it, I don't think is good for the game. They probably wanted to do something like this last time. They probably wanted to rework it, but they probably didn't have enough time to figure out exactly what they wanted to do, and that's what they're going to do this time. I think we're going to see massive reworks to all the passives in the entire game, and they are going to slap Chrono to kind of go all the way around. They're going to slap Chrono, obviously, but I think they'll probably slap Mesmer in general, maybe a little bit, because I think the community feeling it's kind of like a Dragon Hunter nerf. As in, they're nerfing it because it's kind of like unfun for a lot of players to play against, not because it's particularly imbalanced. I mean, Mirage isn't really that OP. Chrono is, yeah, maybe Chrono's a little OP, but it's not that OP.
Hold on a second, though.
Mainly to be less aids and less anti-fun. Right, but there's quite a few things that are quite anti-fun in the game right now, and that's why I'm expecting Chrono to see changes probably. I'd be tempted to Scourge is going to see changes. I'd be tempted to say maybe even Warrior. I think Warrior is kind of an anti-fun class. Like Spellbreaker is very anti-fun. I think, especially with the way Rampage is. Like that's fun and interactive, boys. So like a lot of things like that, I think are going to be. Are going to be addressed and cut down. I actually think we're going to see pretty significant changes to all classes. I think they're also going to buff Heal Ellie for sure this time, boys. Okay, I said this last time. Okay, because right now Firebrand is the only support you play. You play Firebrand or you're bad, right? But
somebody played Heal Ellie in the tourney.
I'm talking about PvP here.
Yeah, I know. Somebody played. Somebody played Tempest in the tourney, didn't they? And it went pretty well.
How did that work out for them?
Until they lost. It was working well until they lost.
But yeah, no, I think we'll probably see some stuff there. Power Reaper and PvE, dude. Yeah, they're gonna buff. Dude, they saw my video. They saw me beat Rocker, and they're gonna nerf Power Reaper guys. Actually, okay, they're gonna. Yeah. They saw me destroy Rocker in a DPS race on his Power Soul Beast, and then job done. Job done, I win, boys, okay? And they're probably going to buff Ellie as well. They'll try and buff Weaver, make Weaver actually do something. That's how it's going to go, boys, okay?
Soul Beast. Okay, so I agree with everything you just said. I think that's probably going to happen. The only question I have is for the passive stuff you were talking about, is there like insider information that I don't know about? Because I don't see why they would, like, they nerfed it, and it, like, I don't see why they would completely change it now. Like, what? I don't see why they would do that.
Because I think they did that in a little balance patch, and they did that just to shut down the passive gameplay that people was making incredibly obnoxious, right?
Yeah, and they've done that.
They've done that, but one of my major complaints, and your Boots, you should as well, right? You like crafting builds, right? One of the things is that there's basically dead traits, right? And I think most of those passives are just pretty dead traits, and they're just like they're kind of like the best of three horrible options a lot of the time, right? When you take those passive traits, I think anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that will be fair. Right, so I think they're going to fully
So why would they address those traits and not the other dead traits?
Well, I think they're going to do those too. But I think they're going to make them not passives. Like that, you like that emote, Brazil?
That's a good one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, so I think pretty much I think a massive amount of useless traits are going to get reworked or at least improved in some way. I actually think this is going to be...
You think that's right in this patch?
Yeah, I unironically think this could be one of the biggest balance patches we have ever seen, actually. Seriously.
No. Well, yes, but not the biggest.
I don't think it's the biggest either.
The biggest, because there was I would say like the specialization update was by far the biggest, right? But I think aside from that, this could be one of the biggest actually. Like the way, in my opinion, like, when they post an entire, A4 page with multiple paragraphs about Deadeye, dude, think about what we're going to do to the other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god.
But then why haven't they posted the other stuff?
I have absolutely no idea. But honestly, this is ArenaNet we're talking about, so I'm not surprised.
I don't know, man.
I would have loved to have heard some extra updates, but I mean, I was not expecting that.
Well, I think it's good, right? Like, if let's say they're going to give Scourge a big treatment overhaul or something, I think it's good to get those things out there, like they did with Deadeye, to see what people have to say.
I think it's going to be a lot more like the last biggish balance patch, like not the bonus one, but the one before that, where they made a lot of changes, good changes, and then they overhauled Mesmer. So, and that's the only one they overhauled. They only overhauled Mesmer.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to overhaul Deadeye and not overhaul any other classes, but make a lot of nice changes and overhaul underwater combat.
I don't think they're going to overhaul any of the classes. From a design perspective, I think most of the classes are pretty good. I think we will see design changes to Necro. The big shade thing has been such a long time coming. I think we're gonna see Scourge probably do more damage, honestly, but it will be just much harder to land it, right? They'll probably
that's a good.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good. The way Scourge is right now is it's just I don't know. It's just very anti-fun and
yeah.
It's not good, guys. Okay, it's fundamentally against how Conquest is. Obviously, right? You can cover an entire point without aids, and as a result of that, they were forced to reduce its power level massively, right? What I would like to see actually is kind of turn back Scourge's power, like increase the power level back to a few patches ago. But if you have to do that with little shade, believe me, guys, it will be way harder to actually execute it if you have to play with little shade instead of big shade, because it turns out that little shade fucking sucks compared to big shade. And if they change that, then I think it will be really interesting, and Scourge will be a more interactive class, right? And yeah, that's how I feel about that.
So, why do you guys think Renegade Shortbow wasn't touched ever since it was released? It wasn't touched at all.
Wait, Renegade can use shortbow?
Yes, Renegades can.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
I thought
I don't know, man. They reduced those cooldowns.
No,
and energy costs.
It's so clunky, and you can't really use it in anywhere except for the auto attack and the second skill and maybe the fifth skill sometimes.
There was. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You can't use the free because in PvP I'm talking because if your enemy
can't use Renegade in PvP.
You can't use the free because if your enemy is not pinpointing on that last spot, it's not gonna mean shit. And you can't use the 4 because it is so clunky and so slow to use. Why hasn't it been touched at all?
There was something deeper going on with Renegade Shortbow than I think what you're realizing. Realistically, I think that they made a huge deal about showing off the artillery barrage or whatever it is that opens up and shoots out all the projectiles. They wanted to be able to show off the Tiger Shortbow and Dreamer with that, so people would see that and think, ah! And they would buy Heart of Thorns in addition to Path of Fire, and buy both of those because they wanted Rev and they wanted to make a short bow. I think that's probably a big underlying factor. It was probably also rushed, and they probably knew that there was going to be a big rework because of how poorly some of the classes were received, and so they just didn't do anything to it, realistically. I think that's probably what happened.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, it's already good in PvE, so it doesn't have to be good in the other game modes. So I don't think Shortbow needs much of a redesign. Yes, it's the meta build for Renegade in PvE, dude.
It's pretty good.
Where?
What?
Shortbow?
On big hitbox.
Are you sure?
On big hitbox, yeah. You play Shortbow on Condi Renegade.
It's also apparently pretty good in World vs. World.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't play
a Renegade.
I wouldn't play Condi. I wouldn't play Condi Rev in World vs. World. You have Hammer, you have Power Rev. There's no reason to. There's no reason to play that, right?
Did you say on large hitboxes in raids?
Yeah. Where?
Yes.
Did all your Weavers die of heart attacks and decide to play the worst classes, or?
Well, I mean, you don't play. You don't play everything on. You can't always play Weaver's Inks, you know. And also, they're probably would nerf Weaver as well. They're probably going to just destroy Ellie.
No, Weaver's fine. They should buff it.
No, here's the thing. Right? The outcry has been so big against Weaver, they're just gonna destroy it. Okay, they're just gonna.
They even need buff Sword Weaver. Just make it even better.
Yeah. Why do they have to? I mean,
Why not?
I think buffing Sword Weaver would actually be pretty good. I think it would be good if Sword Weaver was actually the meta build. I think that would be really good.
Weaver,
I want to play Sword Weaver. Let's make it happen.
Do it.
Yeah, buff it.
Just do it,
ArenaNet. Just buff it.
Just buff it.
I have a question. Okay, so the rework coming to Deadeye makes me kind of think about and wonder about all the elite specs and what needs that kind of treatment. I think Renegade might be on that list of elite specs that may need a second look. Maybe I know not all elite specs and all trait lines need to be good for every game mode, but the fact that you can't use it at all in PvP is kind of annoying. Do you guys think that Renegade, for example, or any other elite spec needs to have a second look at it and maybe a rework?
If any elite spec needs a rework?
Besides, Deadeye's coming, but
a rework.
Is Scrapper off the table?
Oh, Scrapper. They tried, but it didn't work. I'd probably say on top of that, I guess. Tempest needs to be looked at, really, but maybe not a rework. But then again, I mean, the Deadeye rework is not much. We're always going rework, but it's just that they're shuffling a few traits and making Malice work differently, right? I mean, that's not.
Well, it's definitely going to play a lot differently because you're going to be.
Another thing to consider is Deadeye with Spear Gun underwater is going to be out of control good. I would suspect.
Yeah, you think? Mm-hmm. It's going to be insane.
I think so. Yeah. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's literally just going to be underwater rifle with no heal.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
But you don't got Death's Judgment from it.
Reaper should also be looked at, if you're asking me.
Why?
Power Reaper sucks.
Yes.
Yeah, Power Reaper is really bad in PvE, that's for sure. But it's okay in PvP. I think they'll probably buff it. They'll definitely buff Power Reaper a bit, I think, across every game mode. But But it turns out, in my opinion, it turns out you can achieve similar results by nerfing things that are too strong, right? If you nerf Scourge, Power Reaper becomes better. So it's kind of like if you even the scales, you can buff something by nerfing something else that's kind of taking its place. There is no reason you would ever play Power Reaper when you could have a Scourge, pretty much. Well, and if you wanted to lose, you could do that, right?
Well, you need... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah. So I think it's not that... Because you have to be very careful with something like Power Reaper, because it already has insane one-shot potential. We're talking about PvP here, right? It already has a really high burst potential, and it has this stupid passive proc as well. That's to say, it's a big problem, okay? So if they buff it even more, I think it can become very scary very quickly, actually, because of how much damage it actually does already. It wouldn't take... What I'm saying is it wouldn't take too much to make Reaper really probably way too good, right? And very, very oppressive to play against again, right? I mean, there is a lot of... In fairness, I think it will be very difficult to do that. There's a lot of counterplay against Reaper because of how slow it is. But, I mean, damn, dude. Like, Reaper is not exactly bad. It's just overshadowed by stuff that fits the meta a bit better, you know?
There's a lot of that going on, it seems like.
Yeah,
Like
there
Epidemic.
is. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, Epidemic is a really... I mean, to kind of jump over to Epidemic. Epidemic is a really big problem in PvE again. It limits design space hugely. Like, any fight that has ads is just going to get cheesed to oblivion because of Epidemic. So they're probably going to... this is actually a suggestion that... Fun fact, guys, Brazil actually made this suggestion a very long time ago. I suspect this will actually happen. I suspect they're probably going to disable epi bouncing. But I don't know.
Yes.
So like the Epidemic will apply a debuff to the target, right? And you won't be able to bounce off that. The thing is, I actually think that's kind of bad. Because... No, they'll probably make it so it's a debuff that means Epidemic is half as effective on it, actually. That's how I think it will go. So, instead of copying 25 stacks... Oh, no, it'll halve the duration every time you bounce, probably, I would say. The
debuff stacks, and it halves the duration.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it halves the duration, I think. And they'll do that because I think they want to keep the Epi Bounce, because I think that is kind of a cool little thing you can do. Having 2 Necros, it is a unique gameplay feature that you can have, right? So I don't think they want to remove it. But
that reminds me, actually.
They do want to make it weaker. Go ahead, Boots.
That reminds me of when Ben was in chat the other last tea time, and he made a joke where you use he's going to come up with a thing that every time you use a skill it gets nerfed because every time you use it it's being used too often, so it's going to be bad. And it was a joke, but I thought it was a great mechanic, and this sounds a lot like that mechanic.
Yeah, I very much think that's gonna. I very much think that's going to happen, because, of course, that has to be addressed. But hey, you know what's good? That means there's going to be some unbreakable records, especially seeing as they're probably going to nerf everything as well. So that'll be fun. Some unbeatable records for a while until the next new broken OP elite specs come out, you know what I mean? That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when it comes to overall reworks, I think the game is in a pretty good place design-wise. Just, fully delete all the passives. No one likes that shit. Rework all the useless traits. And buff various things. And nerf a bunch of stuff as well.
What if they deleted all the passives? What if they deleted all the passives and replaced them all with underwater traits?
They can't.
Why do there need to be underwater-specific traits, though? Because there aren't any land-specific traits.
No, there are. Well, everything's... Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Any sword... and any
all damage traits?
Yeah, that's specific.
No. They fixed the falling damage traits.
They added a heal to it. That's true.
They added another component to all of them. I think.
Yeah, they just combined them with something else, I think.
Yes, yeah, but they made them kind of cool, actually. I really like what they did with the...
But also, anytime you use fall damage trait... anytime you take fall damage, but also usually it's on a heal skill.
Yeah, on a heal
skill. At the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But any trait in the game that specifies a weapon, that's a land specific thing. So I don't know. They're not going to do underwater specific traits. It's going to be tied to something else for sure.
They'll be rules.
Yeah, they'll almost certainly rework every weapon trait, underwater weapon trait. I think they'll definitely do that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because right now they're just like do 5% extra damage, 20% reduction cooldown, right? They'll make it
Yep. Boring stuff.
yeah, exactly, pretty boring stuff. They'll make it a little bit more. They'll make it a little bit more creative than that, shall we say? Okay, a little bit more.
What
creative.
about traits that increase swim speed?
Swim speed? You already swim really fast.
No.
You have
Oh.
swiftness as well.
You swim the same speed you run. You swim the
You have
same speed you run.
swiftness.
Being
It doesn't
underwater
feel
is
that
like
way, though.
being underwater is like trying to play in Jello. Just doesn't
What?
feel good.
Do you play in Jello? Hunks?
All the time. All the time.
Yeah,
Every Saturday.
Roll around?
yeah. You just roll around. You get a
Yep,
big
big
Jello.
mud
You
ring.
put yourself in the Jello, and just.
Nah,
just
you
try and
feel
play.
super slow. Even with super speed, I don't know. You feel slow in water.
It's because I think it's because of the way that
Maybe it's perception. I don't know, but
the way that underwater actually works. I imagine they're going to change this. Is that underwater is actually a stance, and when you go underwater, you get forced into the stance, and being on land is a stance as well. So through some nefarious use of tools that that are out there, you can force the underwater stance on land, for example. So you can do a bunch of interesting things like have targeted engineer grenades, and you can immobilize people with net turret.
Yeah. That's gonna change too.
I think that they'll just like modify it more to like gliding, or like honestly, like I don't know. They have.
I don't know. I have a feeling that they might add a lot of cool new movement skills to the skills for underwater weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but-
could do that.
do you? Yeah. I was gonna say, do you think they would just add masteries or something to maybe fill some of those gaps?
I think mastery is a really good
Cantha,
idea.
underwater.
I think that's an
movement.
expansion.
Yeah,
It's
Cantha.
expansion content right there. Yeah.
Underwater movement.
It's
Underwater
gonna be
movement, that's
tied to
nice.
an underwater mount.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
Frostball also talks about like you're constantly moving in multiple directions. That's certainly part of it as
Yeah.
well.
Well, yeah, you have an extra dimension to
Yeah.
move around, which you don't really worry about on land, right? I mean, for all intents and purposes, there isn't too much verticality to a lot of stuff, right? Whereas underwater is like really wow, like there's a lot of scale to it, right? And yeah, you have to move great distances all the time, I guess. But
You also have to like factor in for like forward movement and how that just interacts. Like if somebody wants to go up, like it's just there's a lot of quirks to it, I would imagine.
I don't think they would do this, but what if they added it? So in episode 2, they added that skill that replaces your health bar or whatever, goes on cooldown.
Yeah.
What if they add a skill for the pancake? The hell is it called? Skimmer.
Skimmer,
What if
yeah.
they add a skill for the skimmer that just lets you dive underwater with it? And now you have an underwater
because
mount.
then they.
I mean, they
then
can't sell you as
have-
many mounts, so they probably won't do that. But
But then they don't have the key feature for the expansion. They can't do that.
that's going to be the whole feature is
The
underwater
whole feature,
movement.
one underwater mount, yeah, and
Well, I
a sea
can't wait
turtle,
to-
sea turtle underwater, and a
Looking forward
land
to that.
turtle.
Can I get that? As long as I can get the giant cannon on it, dude. I want that siege turtle.
Exactly, siege turtle for land, sea turtle for water, and the siege
Catapult
turtle you'll have
turtle.
multiple people on it.
Catapult turtle from Yu-Gi-Oh! That's a classic. Oh my
Catapult
gosh.
And then
turtle.
does your turtle go underwater?
There was that was such a good deck. It was broken. Sorry, derail.
Mhm.
But, oh,
I just
any of you
imagine.
know what catapult turtle was?
I mean, no,
Oh my gosh!
I have no idea.
I just imagine a turtle throwing people.
Basically, there was this card, and you could tribute a monster and inflict direct damage to your opponent's life points, and you would tribute a monster that would recycle when it went into the graveyard, and you just loop that, and they would die. It's good.
Fuck.
It's
I see.
really
Pistol build.
It's much like a pistol build. Yeah, you can directly fire it at your opponent. You just. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for this balance patch. I really have to say, guys. I'm calling it now. There's going to be a lot of changes addressed at kind of evening things out. Weaver's going to get better. Tempest is going to get better. Chrono gets worse. Scourge gets better, worse. Mirage probably gets a little bit worse. I'd say Spellbreaker probably gets a bit worse. I reckon they try to buff Soul Beast or something like that. I reckon they'll buff Soul Beast. They're like, fuck Druid, we don't want Druid anymore. We're buffing Soul Beast, boys. Okay.
Firebrand's perfect right now. Don't touch it.
I don't know. They might try and desperately fix Scrapper, but I mean, I'm not sure about that one, dude.
I doubt it.
I think they're.
Do you think they're gonna
give up? What's up, Shannon? Hit us with it, dude.
Do you think they're gonna buff Rev Sword again? Maybe remake the Sword free.
So Rev is actually one of the things where I think that they probably don't want to buff it, because I think if they do, I think Rev will end up being a massive problem. So Rev in PvP is kind of in the situation where it's just not very good against any of the classes that are played right now. And that's why it's not that it's weak as such. It doesn't.
I think if it was buffed in certain ways, it could fill the role that like Warrior or Druid. But it could be a duelist basically.
Well, the thing is, it's not supposed to be a duelist though. It's
always sort of been one though.
If they make it a duelist, I actually think it will be. If you go something like Rev, like the ability to sustain itself, as well as something like Warrior or Engie, you have such a massive problem, dude. I mean, Rev does so much burst damage in CC, right? They aren't going to buff that, right? If they buff the sustain, I think Rev would be probably a little too good. And like
it would have to be a choice.
Yeah, you'd have to make it. I guess you'd have to make it something you'd have to sacrifice a lot of damage for. I suppose, but then again, I don't know. I'd rather have a bit of identity to it. I think Rev actually has a unique playstyle. It has a kind of a unique role, right? It's I think Rev is kind of okay. I think Rev will see more play if they nerf the kind of abundance of Condi about the place, right? In particular, like it gets shut down hard by stuff like Scourge and Condi Mirage. I think that's kind of the problem with that. Or any Condi builder. We're even seeing Condi Thief like make a resurgence, right? And like, oh my god,
yeah,
like Rev cannot deal with that. Like Rev
Thief.
Rev just can't handle that. You know, like there's just no way, right? It can't do anything against it.
I stopped playing Rev a bit ago because I realized Rev has no place in PvP above gold.
Thief is my jam.
You can play Rev, right? You can play Rev, but it has a lot of very tricky things that it has to play against right now, right? It has some very tricky matchups in PvP in the meta as it stands. So what I'm saying is, if we see a lot of movement away from how things are now, and I would say in particular Scourge, if Scourge kind of gets shoved away, you're going to see Rev again. If it goes back to stuff like Power Reaper, then you're going to see Rev again. That's how I feel about that anyway. So also stuff like Mirage is just like horrible for Rev to deal with. Like it's so difficult for a Rev to deal with that.
So the reason why a Warrior is able to do what it does, one of the reasons anyway, is because it's got a lot of access to resistance, and it could deal with the Scourge in that way. It could deal with certain things in that way. I mean, Rev kind of does have a good amount of access to resistance as well. What is it that's keeping Revs back from being able to resist in the same way that a Warrior does?
They don't have enough resistance for the output of damage, and like a big thing is like Sword 3, where you teleport around people. Like if you get caught in that with a Thief, like you'll die pretty fast. Especially like if you try to meme and run away while they're casting it, which is a very bad idea. Problem is that like they Sword 3 on you something and you stealth. It's just like, huh. Or they Sword 3 on you and then you just dodge. Like Condi Thief, Condi Thief will infinitely dodge. The Rev can't get off of them. You have unblockable, Basilisk Venom, LOL. Or the far superior strategy for fighting Revs is they cast Sword 3 on you, you walk up backwards to a wall, and they fall through the map. I think that's the best way to fight them, honestly.
So I would say the problem with Revenant Resistance is that if you play Rev, you're very vulnerable to Corrupt, right? Very vulnerable. Like Revenant was always this way. Revenant was always this way. But because of the Corrupt spam, it's a really, really, really big problem. And the thing is, if you invest in Malix, if you invest in Malix, it means when you're in Malix, like if you're not in Malix, you're fucked, right? And also, when you're there, like it's a 30 energy cost, right? Is it 35? I believe they reduced it, if I recall correctly, to 30. I can't exactly remember though. Maybe it's still 35.
Still very expensive.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
and if you,
it's because it's like
if you
as
do
a
that,
warrior,
you can't really do anything, right? Like, you can do your resistance thingy, right? But you can't do anything else except that.
That's it.
I think they could, if they made it so that the actual like AOE resistance was more, I think maybe there could be some merit in that. They made it so it was. Also, if you want to do resistance on Malix, you're forced into Condi as well. You have to play Corruption, right? You need Demonic Defiance, right? And that's just it's. You're not going to get anything.
Trait.
You're not. No. The traits are actually really good. It's just that you won't be able to do anything, right? It's just not as good as playing power, right? And that's
interesting.
Yeah, so that's when there's a problem. And the resistance optimum is actually insane. You can actually get easily 100% resistance actually by spamming the fuck out of that, especially in a team fight. But the thing is, you won't be able to do anything else on top of that, right?
That's it. But Warrior can get 100% resistance itself, but it's stuff that pulses passively, basically, or from your what's it called? From your full counter, which you're using all the time anyway. So it's like it's something that happens passively for a Warrior while it is doing everything else. But for a Rev, you'd have to. The energy cost on keeping your resistance up all the time is hampering. Yeah. So I think, I know that before they nerfed the resistance output for the Rev, they had 100% uptime pretty easily and were able to do other things. Do you think that change was a mistake, or was it not a mistake at the time, but now they should roll it back maybe?
It was definitely a mistake. It was definitely not a mistake at the time because there was a lot less at the time. Like, this is back in the proper boon meta days, right? Like, where you could just have every single boon just permanently, right? Especially particularly in World vs. World, this was a problem. At the time it was not a mistake. Like having boons infinitely is not good, right? It's not really good design if you can just stack this up forever. So yeah, it was definitely correct to kind of nerf that down a little bit, especially when this was at a time where Condi Rev was also very oppressive. But there were a lot of things that made it like that though. There was stuff like you didn't have the spam corrupt that you do today, right? The fact that you have Scourge that has constant boon rip pressure, stuff like Spellbreaker, constant boon rip pressure, right? It makes having a permanent boon much less scary, really. Like, I can have resistance up the whole time. Whoa, yeah! But it turns out, it's great news. Like now that's immobilized, buddy. Like, have fun with that. And there's just a lot of that around these days, which makes that sort of thing a lot weaker. Kind of keeps it in check. But this is a really interesting question. Actually, this is a massive topic where you can talk about. Where you can talk about all of the balance in the game, right? Because it's kind of like, is it better to have stuff a little slower, like in Heart of Thorns, or now where you just say everything is very, very like, the application and corruption is just huge right now. Like, everyone is spamming boons out the ass, okay? But to counter it, we have Necros spamming corrupts the entire time. We have Spellbreaker ripping boons all the time. We have stuff like Revocation and Annulment Sigils, right? Just going crazy the entire time. It's really interesting how the game has developed, but I think it wasn't a mistake at the time. But I don't know, maybe they could bring something back and make it a little bit better. So
maybe not bring it back, but maybe roll something else into the things you have to spam to keep your resistance up. That makes it useful in some other way as well, or just reduce energy costs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think a major problem with Scourge is the Boon Corrupt on the Scepter auto attack. It's very problematic because you basically have Boon Corrupt all the time, and instead you can have it on a skill like the 2, where it's on a cooldown. It's a bit easier to handle.
Is it weird for me to think that was sort of like a change for PvE raids? For like 1 or 2 raids in particular, and then the fact that it was put in everywhere is kind of a mistake, because like, why do you need a passive boon removal, boon corruption on auto attack?
No, I think that was very deliberately a a PvP change, I think, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why? Why would they do that?
Because they wanted to make it better.
All right.
But now it's
and it's
very,
also
very broken.
nowhere near as oppressive as you might think. It takes quite a while to do that. It's a big investment to do an auto attack chain, right?
3
So,
different, yeah, I guess so. That's true.
It's quite
Because you're not
slow.
doing that
It's
most of the
not-
time.
it's not
Although for
too
Scourge,
bad.
it's not that bad because you have your F abilities, which don't interrupt it.
Yeah, and it's more like combining it with Scourge is where you have problems, right? Really.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I mean, obviously the auto attack is very strong, but it takes a long time, and you can't cancel your auto attack chain to do anything else. If you suppose you forced to dodge or something, like, well, rip your auto attack chain, right? Rip your Boon Corrupt, which is a lot of pressure, especially seeing a Scepter is already really loaded towards the end, right? You have the Boon Corrupt, but you also have the poison stack. As well, right? So the third auto attack chain is called Putrid Curse, boys. It's 1 bleed, 1 poison, and a Boon Corrupt as well, which is insanely loaded onto that third auto attack, right? It's bleed, then 3 condies, right? So that third auto attack chain is absolutely insane, right? So yeah, there you go. And the reason that is there is because they wanted to just make it better. I mean, unsurprisingly, right? They wanted to buff it a bit, and they did, and they made it a lot stronger. Because before, it just wasn't enough. They wanted to have some more pressure, in particular, to counter a copious amount of boons, right? So you have to, you got to watch out for that. But yeah, having Scourge about the place just makes it really problematic. Because suddenly, the F2 is ripping boons. When you hit your F5, you're summoning another boon rip. Although I think that was kind of cool, actually. But also, the summoning the Shade also rips a boon. All the punishments you use convert a boon into Torment and Cripple. So again, this is problems. It just becomes a lot of compounding stuff that can all happen at the same time to you, and then you don't have any boons anymore, and then you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, who needs boons? Boons are pretty optional, dude.
I guess I'm not too upset about boons being corrupted because, I mean, there's got to be some kind of downside to having all the boons all the time.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing the Scourge is this way, and the reason Scourge is this way is to shut down everything else. I mean, if Scourge wasn't this way, if you didn't have access to this much boon corrupt, then stuff like Firebrand would just be kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
If SD Thief didn't exist in the way it does, well, when people figured out that SD Thief is pretty goddamn good versus Firebrand, if you didn't have stuff like that, then suddenly the boon spam class is like, we're in a constant war, guys, between the boon spammers and the boon rippers, okay? And if any one of them gets nerfed, the other one will just be insanely dominant, right? It just gets very, very dirty, right? Very, very dirty. If you can't rip the boons, suddenly Firebrand is just the most oppressive shit ever. And if you can't deal with the boon corrupt, then Scourge is insanely oppressive. I mean, look, they removed so much pressure from Scourge, right? They removed so much from Scourge, and it's still pretty difficult to deal with if you're a boon class, right? Even if you're something like a Hollow or a Rev, it's just misery to deal with because of how much pressure how hard they can punish you.
Pistol Thief.
Yeah, Pistol Thief.
They take your 25 might off, and it's literally back with 1 unload.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Boon lives matter.
Stuff like that, man. That is the count. I mean, range. It's kind of weird seeing a Scourge is so ranged, but not going to melee is the way to counter Scourge. Like Deadeye, dude. Yeah. Deadeye and Pistol Thief. That's how you shut it down.
Do warriors use that trait that gives you 3% extra damage for every boon on your opponent?
I don't even know if they take discipline.
You take,
or is that in tactics?
I think it's tactics. That's
yeah.
So
tactics.
then probably not.
Yeah,
tactics is a piece of shit trait line. I mean,
yeah, so forget it then.
yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boons, but every O is replaced by an anime. It's a good one. It's good. It's good. Sometimes I pull so hard I rip the boons. Exactly. So yeah, it's I don't know. We're in an interesting space in terms of design. I'm wondering if they. I honestly would like. I'd love to talk to the balance devs about what direction they wanted to move the game, and if they want to go back towards Heart of Thorns, if they like how Path of Fire is, because Path of Fire is pretty fast paced right now, boys. Pretty fast paced.
Sure that there are balance devs.
Yes.
Didn't you just say that they now have a team?
Yeah,
They might now.
You just
Depending
exposed
on,
them.
I'll make that assessment completely, whatever the patch comes through. I think it's possible that they do now, but in the past, no. There was no conceivable way that there was a balanced team.
Oh, apparently it's discipline. I don't know. I don't know my fucking warrior traits, dude.
Wait, what? I'm pretty sure it's tactics. Hold on.
I don't know, guys.
No, it's not because you play it. You play it in World vs. World, so it's discipline.
Destruction of
yeah,
the Empowered,
yeah.
Axe build.
Yeah.
Play it. Time to go. Play it. Go kill those
Brawlers
firebrands and
are-
chaos mesmers.
Yeah, you want Brawler's Recovery, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, you do. You do. I'm not gonna argue with that.
And what if one of their boons is protection boots? What then? So you get your 3%.
Then
you get your 3%.
Well, they were gonna have that protection anyway.
Yeah, but so you get 3%.
So?
Like the 3% is really shutting that down, dude.
Yeah. No, but it's your if they don't nerf Chronos enough this patch, you play your Destruction of the Empowered and take them down with an Axe Whirl. There you go, guys. Go play that.
Well,
Axe
Condies.
Warriors is the second best class in the game.
but why not play Dagger boots and then just rip the boons with Dagger?
Yes.
Because daggers, you have to hit the right clone. It's it's rough. It's rough.
The right clone. Mesmers are all
They're
clones.
all clones. Yeah, that's how don't you know that one of the lines that they say is, "I guess I was the real one all along." They don't even know.
Yeah. Okay. Inks. You still playing Ranger? Playing Ranger? What are your hopes for
Druid.
Ranger, Inks?
Druid.
What's going on?
Nothing. I don't think anything's. I mean, power's pretty much crap, and I don't think that's going to change. They might do a little bit something to Soul Beast, but I don't play Soul Beast, so I don't care. I just play Druid, and that's not really going to change. So I'm good. Doesn't really matter what they do. Balance, and I don't go underwater. So
When did you
Who
turn
cares?
into me?
I mean,
It was a
I
gradual thing.
I mean, I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I think Druid for PvE is going to remain pretty much the same, right? I mean, does anybody think it's going to change?
I mean, it's still not the best healer.
Doesn't
People
matter.
only
Well, no,
play
no,
it
it's
because
Yeah, because of buffs. It's a bad healer. It's not a very good healer.
Yeah, that doesn't matter though.
Just make Alacrity apply Might instead of Alacrity. Just like
So,
the
like,
Grace of the Land.
I don't know. I don't really think Druid's going to change very much. Even if they up the healing on, say, another class, like, you're still not going to replace Druid currently, right? I just don't see what they could do to really push Druid out that I think that they would actually do. And in PvP, I mean, I don't play Druid in PvP anyway, but.
It's
They-
kind
And
of,
and in World vs. World, you don't take Ranger unless you're gonna roam around and do whatever.
it's kind of a case of role compression again. When they,
Yeah,
everyone was like,
big
"Oh,
time.
what a great Grace of the Land, what a great nerf!" But they made Druid so much more OP. Honestly, it stacks 25 might on 10 people. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
you know what else does that?
Deadeye.
Heal Rev.
Wait, Heal Rev does
And
how does Heal Rev stack
Heal-
on 10 people?
You're
you walk around in a circle.
Wait, how does it stack might? Actually?
Are you kidding me?
What?
This is why people don't know that Heal Rev is good. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about Heal Rev. Alright, I'm a little triggered right now.
I don't see how you get 10 people out of it.
Just bear with me. Just
Let's go.
bear with me
Okay.
a little bit. ASMR Heal Rev.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Into it.
Yep.
I'm
So-
into this.
Heal Rev does permanent Fury, permanent 25 Might, it can do permanent Alacrity, and it has the highest healing output of anything in the game. Has mobile projectile destruction. It's impossible for anybody to die in the party, pretty much. So, like,
I'm on board.
you cycle between Renegade, putting down, like, the Alacrity stuff, and shattering your Kala's Fervor for Might. Like, you use altruism runes, and you go to the tablet, and you just move it back and forth. That heals people, and it gives fury. This is on a short cooldown. You use tablet 3 for alacrity, and one of the Kala skills, I think it's like the third F skill, gives alacrity.
Yeah.
Like, it's the best healer in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know why people... The only reason that people wouldn't use it... Like, I mean, Staff 4 heals a lot. It cleanses. You auto-attack with Staff, and it drops the little orbs, and people are just there, and they walk on it. Like, you don't even have to think about it to play it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of awkward to get used to because of the tablet management. And
it does a fine amount of damage, too.
Yeah, like it's just, I don't know. Like, if you ever want to be totally convinced, play Minstrel Heal Rev in Fractals.
Okay, well, that one doesn't do that much damage.
That will sell you completely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It just sounds like the might stack sounds like a... The way it might stack sounds like a bit of a gimmick, honestly. I don't think that's...
It literally stacks by using its F1.
I don't know.
It's not a gimmick.
I mean, on 5 targets I can see it, right? But the 10 thing, I don't know. It seems a little inconsistent.
You move 2 inches to the left and get it on the other.
Are you in your own subgroup while doing this? I guess.
Could be.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. I guess it doesn't really have anything else on top of it, though. I guess like it's not. It doesn't. It only does that though, right? And it does hit. So I mean, yeah. I mean that's fine, right? But the thing is that the big problem with Druid is just the way that it has Spotter, Spirits, and it fulfills the healing role, right? And it has an insane amount of CC as well. Like the CC as well is huge on top of that, right?
It's a compressed support class.
It's role compression. A lot of the problems with these specializations, like Mesmer and Druid in particular, is role compression.
And the fact that they complement each other
and
so well.
And Warrior as well, right? Again, Warrior is another problem.
And the really tough thing is just the second you start taking some of that compression away from them, like they won't get played at all. Other things will just cut. Like striking that balance, I think, is really difficult for those classes once you start removing some of that compression.
Well, I don't know. I think I'm not sure if that's necessarily true. I think you can see play on this stuff afterwards. It's just that there's nothing that really competes with. I mean, there's nothing that competes with banners, right? I mean, they'd have to nerf the DPS of warriors. I mean, obviously, like the spreadsheet people know how good banners actually are, but the amount of damage that banners actually add is pretty insane, right?
Wrong.
The amount of
Wrong.
The banners are
No,
OP,
you're wrong.
dude. They're OP.
Wrong.
It's a 10 people, man.
Wrong.
Okay.
So let me tell you a little bit about the average Guild Wars 2 player. You ready for this? They're never going to be anywhere near a banner in any encounter for longer than about as long as it takes me to full kill someone on Pistol Thief. Because you have the Pug Warriors that put the banners down at the edge of the Veil Guardian arena while you're kiting it in a circle around in Phase 2. Nobody has the banners. They put it down where you first take him and you run around. Nobody has the banners. Banners are a strong buff in groups where people understand game mechanics, use them, whatever. They're awful.
TeaPot,
Banners and spirits are the worst possible buff that you could use with people that are the average players who just don't care. It literally, they are almost useless. You're better off taking like Wild Blow and For Great Justice, or just taking a Heal Rev instead of a Druid.
So just about the Heal Rev, for example, I think the reason why it's not played so often is because of the fact that Druid and Chronomancer complement each other so well. They cover all the bases, basically, right? They have the alacrity, the quickness.
Are you going to say spirits?
I was going to say, and the healing. And yes, so spirits as well. But the thing is, the spirits...
Assassin's Presence.
Yeah, Assassin's Presence is great. It's true.
No,
but what I was going to follow that up with was that because they've been moving towards more 10 target things, you don't need anymore. You don't need to have 2 Rangers and 2 Chronomancers. You could do with just 1 of each. And have the other combo there and have the Rev complementing the Firebrand that gives the quickness. And that would be a better setup. But nobody's going to do that. What do you mean?
I don't understand what you mean.
Yes, Boots. If you take away Spirit, Spotter, and everything else from Druid, then other classes will be played.
Spotter's the only thing that is only 5 targets. But spirits are 10 targets, aren't they?
Well,
no.
Here's the thing.
No,
I mean,
no. Spirits are 0 targets because no one is ever.
No, that is fake news.
It's not fake
You're
news.
CNN, dude. Seriously.
Here,
they
go
have a
Pug
1K
a raid.
radius.
Go Pug a raid.
They have a 1K radius.
Alright.
Like, how do you not stand in that shit? They have.
If you go and Pug a raid with people that are tryhards, and you do have the spirit buffs, then it's going to take you 4.5 hours to clear Slothosaur because they're constantly dying to shakes and bad mash. That's the trade-off. You have to play in an actual, real, good raid group for spirits and banners to be worth anything, because people are either too try-hard and they constantly die
Brazil,
they're as
I'm
good as
trying to help.
or
I'm trying to
They don't
help.
have
I'm
the
trying to
buffs.
say that Rev has his place.
it does. It's the top healer. It's the best healer in the game.
That's it. And I'm trying to say that all you need is a firebrand with you, given the quickness, and it's the good complement. It complements each other right there.
Sure, Chronomancer is bad. Throw it in the trash. Get rid of it.
No. Oh my
Have
God.
that too.
No, right.
No.
But on the Druid thing, right? So the thing about Druid, okay, boys, is that Druid, in a sense, has to be the actual best support class for DPS. I think it always has to be that way. Okay, and do you know why? Okay, no, all of you know why. It's really obvious. It's because Druid is a fucking shit healer. Okay, really? Druid is not, compared to Heal Rev, Heal Ellie, Heal Firebrand. It is a terrible healer. I don't know. Compare it to Heal Ellie. Heal Ellie is busted when in comparison to Druid, right? I think a big with the advent of stuff like 10 target regen with Water Spirit and the way regeneration interacts now with Druid, so you can just have infinite CA, it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, maybe they should probably tone this down a little bit. Like now the healing is a lot better than it used to be, but even now it's no healer.
How high are your regen ticks on your Druid?
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, though.
So
it's not as
here's
good
what
a
I'm
healer,
saying.
right?
Here's what look at my credentials right here, young man.
DNT.
Do you see that?
Yes.
I'm one of like 4 people in the entire planet that has a DNT t-shirt,
Yeah.
and I'm the only one not in the
OG.
guild that has one. So you better listen up to me.
And Druid is not a terrible
sit on
healer.
Santa's lap.
I'm just exposing Druid.
No. Why? You can have the best healing output in the game and buffs that are just as good as what Druid has.
What?
Because Heal Rev does it. And you just don't play
Where
Druid.
are your spirits? Where are the spirits, man?
Assassin's Present. Well, that
But if I'm playing Kandi,
neutralizes it. You
I'm
don't
just
use
gonna
water.
do that meme with that girl that says, "Why not both?" Just
Why not both?
Well,
why not both?
Because if you don't take a Druid, you can here's
the thing though. There are other problems. There are other big problems as well, though. I mean, I think that changing spirits to 10 target was a massive error for so many reasons. Now it turns out that one Druid can give protection to 10 people. Broken. One Druid can give vigor to 10 people. Broken. One Druid gives 25 might. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Like, that just it shouldn't be possible, right? Like, the spirits are way too strong. Also, one Druid, if you take Water Spirit, you can give regen to 10 people, and that means everyone has regen ticking on them, so your CA refills in like fucking 3 seconds.
But the Rev, once it's there, is going to override all those regen
so
ticks.
the thing about my regen ticks on Heal Rev is that they're like 1,700.
Yeah.
Regen ticks. Ticks. That's like literally as much passive healing as like a full heal spec Dragon Hunter does.
That's not even like
Those are right.
mathematically
Those
possible,
numbers are
dude.
correct.
It is
Those
possible.
numbers are
Because
correct.
you want to know why? Because you have like 300% outgoing healing effectiveness.
That's right.
I don't know. You're laughing, but just go play it. Just go play it.
I think you can get 1K. I think you can get 1K.
No.
ticks,
you
I
can
think,
get
actually.
you can get 1K. You can't get like 1.2K. That's the most I got.
You guys are just playing the game wrong. I don't know what.
I accept that.
But yeah, I don't know. Like the way the amount of boons Druid puts out with the it got buffed by the way it can interact with regeneration now as well. Because before the regen would just get overwritten, which honestly kind of kept it in check to a certain extent. And then they came up with regen druid. Then now and now everyone's got regen all over the place. Like, the way that interacts with CA, which is probably not quite intended. Well, I guess it was intended, but it was just like they didn't realize how strong that actually is. So you now have infinite celestial avatar, but even then, the way the healing is on druid is just not as strong as the other support classes. So right now, it's fine that druid would always be the best offensive support, in my opinion. I think it's fine for it to be like that, especially if you can make sacrifices and play Condi druid, right? But whereas you can still have way better support on other classes. Definitely stuff like heal Firebrand, heal Rev, heal Ellie are always going to be better healers, but they just don't have the same offensive capabilities. So I kind of think that's fine. I don't know. I think that's a fine design philosophy to take.
Because is that I have a very, very long and accurate track record of being correct about things 3 to 6 months before they happen. With Heal Rev, it's been about probably a year and a half. So whenever QT and everyone is using Heal Rev in their runs because they've forsaken druids and it's literally worse in every conceivable scenario, then we will see.
We will thank you, Brazil. Don't worry. We will all hail Brazil.
Yeah. Well, think of it this way. You got your things that you say are broken, but I think are better for the raid in general, is that Ranger could do so many of these things to 10 targets rather than 5 targets. Means that you don't need 2 Rangers. You could bring that heal Rev and make the rest of the content ridiculously easy. And the Rev doesn't even need to press F1 anymore and give the might to anybody. And then you could, just steamroll through content because nobody's going to die.
Well, yeah.
Speaking about,
but that's what most people should do, though. I mean,
yeah.
You can play. You don't even. I mean, you can just play one druid and then one actual healer. You can have like the support of the druid. Then you have a heal Rev or a heal Ellie.
Would you be playing 2 Chronos at that point?
And fake DPS and self-proclaimed top players going on in here today.
But hold on a second, though. Would you be playing 2 Chronomancers at that point?
Yes.
So that's the problem. With the Rev there, you could play a Firebrand instead and bring that sweet, sweet DPS.
I mean, you could. You could, I suppose. So then that's just perfect balance. Then it's perfection.
Perfect balance. That's all we want.
It's perfect. It's done. It's beautiful. We fixed it. We fixed the meta, guys. You just play that exact comp. And then everything, you can pick any class you want. There you go.
You're welcome.
So you have to Inks. It's time to hang up that Ranger. Time to get back on Rev, dude.
Inks is free to quit the game because I've completely systematically and surgically destroyed Druid.
Luckily, I pug fractals and
Heal Rev.
It doesn't matter.
Minstrel Heal Rev.
Nah, pass. Pass.
Yeah.
Speaking of content, where's my episode? Where's my episode, guys?
Where is my content? Yeah, speaking of content, it's been a while, guys. Well, you know what? You guys see this post on the Ribbit? They've the E3 floor plan is available, and Guild Wars 2 have 2 booths.
Oh.
Are
Guild
they
Wars
gonna
3
sell gym store outfits in real life
confirmed.
now?
Guild Wars 3 is leaked. Okay.
No way.
Yeah.
Do you think one booth is just for the Griffin?
Yeah.
There's no way there's going to be a Guild Wars.
No, I'm serious. Do you think one
Guild
booth is
Wars
just for the
3
Griffin?
is fucking leaked, boys. Okay.
No.
You think I'm joking? Do you think one booth is just for the Griffin?
Yes, I think one booth is for people. They're going to have like a mechanical bull, but it's a Griffin mount. And then the other booth, you're going to be able to buy gym cards, and they're going to have like a limited selection of like cosplay gym store outfits that you can buy. They're all done with legendary armor.
Or are they going to release the mobile game?
Yeah, there's a mobile.
There's
They've been working on a mobile game or
mobile
something.
game, man.
Oh god. Or
one
Guild Wars.
booth will be the mobile game.
Polymorph Go.
Guild Wars 2 Battle Royale, guys. Guild Wars 2 Battle Royale.
They already did that, kind of. They had the South Sun Survival thing, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm really. I hope they do something good. If they pull a PAX East on us, then I'm gonna be pretty disappointed. I have to say. Or whatever it was.
Well,
the pack.
I mean, they might.
If they just go, yes, we have bought these booths, we put the Griffin for people to take photos,
I'll be
and we're now
right
going
back.
to give you a presentation. Okay, we're going to give you a
Something
presentation.
smells like it's on fire.
Oh, Brazil's
Oh, well, that's
burning his
not
own
good.
house down. Oh dear. Okay.
I mean, at
Yeah.
PAX East, they didn't actually have a booth, but I can't see them not taking the Griffin, right?
They have to. They have to get as much mileage out of that Griffin as possible. They have to bring it
So,
everywhere
when
they
is-
go from now on.
When is E3 again? When is E3?
When is it?
I don't know. Good question.
June 12th.
God, I mean, I can't imagine we're waiting to June 12th for a patch.
No,
No,
there's
no,
no
no.
way. No, I think it's
No.
going to be too. It should be. I'm expecting.
Right?
There has to be an announcement. Seriously, because I don't know. I really wish maybe ArenaNet need to not communicate, because we heard from the raid team, right? That they were like, yes, we're going to be looking at making raids faster this year, okay? And now at this point, it's been since November, so maybe ArenaNet just shouldn't say anything. Like, it obviously doesn't work out for them. I don't know.
Bad.
And
They should only say stuff is in the making, and that is it.
I mean, one of the
I
booths is
hate
going to
that
be the
too.
mobile thing, and I'm sure they'll have a lot of interviews and whatever about whatever they're doing with mobile. I'm wondering what the second booth is going to be then, though.
Griffin.
I mean, I said that semi-seriously, but they might
Yeah.
just have the Griffin on the floor somewhere.
And like play testing and stuff like that, give people a chance to. The idea we had before, let people get on the Griffin and do a Griffin race in the.
Put on
in the
your
game.
VR headset and
Yeah.
just.
Oh shit, that'd be awesome.
Oh man.
Please no. Please no.
I mean, maybe they just need 2 booths for the mobile thing.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely expect the mobile app, as we've all said,
Yeah,
right? That,
for sure.
we know there is going to be one booth probably for the mobile app, okay? So the other one may be just for the actual game, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, could be.
So there
Next
you go.
expansion, maybe?
Boots is right, once again. One of the few
Just in
times that
time.
Boots isn't wrong.
Very few. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's very possible. I think that's probably. Do we know there's going to be a mobile game, though, yet? No, we don't.
I mean, they haven't confirmed it, but there's been. I mean, they've been working on this for a long time behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean,
There was a
they-
Reddit post, too, like
exposing them
stalking
for-
people on LinkedIn.
Exactly, yeah.
LinkedIn.
The fact that they were looking for a mobile developer, stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
we have the breadcrumbs, guys. We have the breadcrumbs. We know the leaks. We have the intense info about that stuff. So that's, you know, it's easy peasy, right? So we know that's going to be happening, which is good. At least we're going to have some kind of big announcement. But I really hope they don't meme us, dude. I hope it's not just we're going to give you like a 1-hour presentation on narrative design, and then there's a Griffin. If they do that, then I don't even know, dude. I will. If they do that, guys, I'm gonna say this right now, live on stream. I will admit that ArenaNet is a meme if they do that. Okay, live on stream, I will admit that. All right.
Wait,
I'll
what?
admit that. If they meme us and just have a Griffin booth and then like a 1-hour presentation on something at
No,
E3,
they're not.
then I will admit that ArenaNet is a meme company.
You don't think that's gonna happen?
No.
No,
You
that's not,
actually-
that's not
They're
going
gonna
to
sell the mobile app. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to sell the mobile app.
The game, whatever it is. Polymock Go or Hearthstone Guild Wars 2 or whatever they're selling.
Why are you giving them so much credit after all we've been through together?
Is this a good time to mention that they still haven't fixed the dye channels on Legendary Armor, Brazil?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Why not? They're never gonna do that. By
You gotta
the
pay
way.
for that. It's gems to write them.
No, the
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
about
yeah.
Legendary Armor is that it's out of their hands and they don't have to touch it.
They lost the files. Um,
Where
So
are my
when do
PSD
we-
files?
oh my gosh.
So
When do we when do we
Oh my
think we're
God.
getting a story?
Well,
Here's
well,
okay, so
I
we know they
just
did the
looked it up.
voiceover work. Oh, you just looked it up. Go ahead.
Well, I looked it up, and the last episode was exactly 2 months ago. So it's any time in the next month.
Technically, they have another month. They got another 30 days to. I mean, they just came back from their sound recording studio in Burbank, so I don't. I've never tracked how long from when they come back to when they release that is, but a couple of weeks probably. 2 or 3 weeks out at this point, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would really hope so. And
this is the balance patch, so it's probably going to be 2 weeks after the balance patch.
I'm expecting maybe an announcement the week after the balance patch, and then oh god, why does it take so long? Oh, give me that content. I don't think they're going to do an announcement.
It's on schedule, man. I don't know what to tell you.
It's horrible. No. Wait, Boots. The last raid was November.
Yeah. It would have been nice to have a raid every release.
The last Fractal CM. When was the last Fractal CM? I don't even know, dude.
CM wise, it was a long while ago.
Yeah.
But do you really think you're getting a raid in the next?
I honestly think triple release.
5 raids.
That's what I said, and people said I was crazy for thinking it's going to be a triple release.
No, I think it's going to be triple release. I think they have to do triple release. They have to do it.
Wait,
they like their triple release.
I think it's going to be Fractal CM, okay? Raid and Living Story. I want a CM arena. Give me CMs, okay?
Well,
give me something else to farm every day. Hit me, Shannon. What have you got? I'm pumped, boys. Let's go.
If they're making it for 3 months, they gotta have something good in the making for us. They can't be just we're waiting 3 months and.
What? What did you just say?
I still have faith in Brazil. I still have faith in Brazil.
All right, let's just pull back a little bit. They're making it for 3 months, so it has to be good. Is that am I correct in that's your argument?
Yes.
I have
Well, first
faith.
of all, I think they're making it for like 9 months, no?
Yes, that is.
Okay. They're making it for 9 months, so it has to be. I want to be very clear on the wording that you're using, because I am about to tear your soul out of your throat.
Oh no.
Okay.
Rip Shadownin.
I have
Be as clear as
soul.
possible.
I have no soul.
You're gonna feel like you do.
Okay.
All right.
Sure. Go ahead.
So, when did Fractals come out?
I don't know. I'm not playing this game.
First Halloween, first Christmas, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, just after Christmas.
Okay. Yeah. When did the Fractured update come out?
You're.
I'm gonna have to go to the wiki because I don't know.
2 years later, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
You're gonna have 2 years. When were Fractals actually good?
They're pretty good now. They made them a little bit worse with the instability.
Nightmare CM.
About a year
Nightmare
ago.
CM was when Fractals were finally good. How long was that?
A year and a half ago? A year ago? I don't know.
Since how long was the gap between when Fractals came out to how good they were?
About 2 years.
3.5 years.
Almost the entire lifespan.
Yeah, almost.
All right.
I mean,
so
you're making a point. You're making a fine point, but you're leaving out the part where there's different teams working on. All right.
When did the Guild Wars 2 story come out?
2012.
When did it become good?
Never.
Correct.
But it's different because they're not working on it. They don't give a shit about the Guild Wars 2 story. So
no,
oh my God. When did armor skins come out?
2012.
When did they stop making them because they were too hard and they gave up and made outfits instead?
2013.
Okay, and when did they stop making gym store outfits?
Never.
Correct.
Yes.
But
oh my God.
That
when did they first introduce RNG loot boxes into the game?
2012.
Okay, and how mad did people get about those?
They didn't?
Wrong.
For the original Black Lion chest?
Stop. Yes, the flame and frost weapons, the forged weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, so what they did, people got mad about it. They made small changes and did like the Karka stuff where you could get the skins from the open world with like a claim ticket or whatever, or you could buy keys and get them out. Okay, so you remember this Halloween with the RNG mount loot boxes, yeah?
Yeah.
People got mad about that too, and they've been mad about all of it up to that point. So did they finally Did they finally learn their lesson and stop doing that?
No.
No.
Well, they're never going to stop doing it.
They made it slightly better. They convinced people that they made it slightly better.
Yes.
And that it is really not. All right. So here's my final point. Here's my final point.
Okay.
All right. When did they first talk about legendary armor?
Oh my
god. Oh my god.
Wait, no, I know this.
How long
it was
did
like
it take them to do it?
No, they talked about legendary armor in 2013.
2013.
Right? Yeah.
There's a blog post in May 2013, I think.
Yeah.
It took them a year twice to make the worst armor skin in the history of MMO games.
Come on, don't talk shit, dude. Don't talk shit.
Honestly,
shout out to Paul if you're reading this.
I can't say that. I can't agree with you saying that they're the worst ever because, first of all, your favorite one of them was the medium, which is just wrong.
You know why I like the medium?
Absolutely wrong.
You know the real reason why I like the medium armor the best?
I do not.
Because it makes people mad when I tell them that.
That's not
right. They literally, the biggest complaint that every person who has played a medium armor class in this game has ever had was that they're, like, probably 70% of them are trench coats. So the legendary armor...
Maybe more than that.
It just, you look normal, you look kind of cool, they're dragon bones, you unstow your weapon, and a trench coat comes out of your ass. It's bigger than, like... a 1500s wireframe dress from Cinderella.
I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand, Brazil. The silhouette of the class is important because outfits exist.
Can I make my counterpoint though, Brazil?
If you have one, I'd love to
lay it down hard and fast.
No. I have something to say. Basically, they said it's gonna take 3 months, so we're assuming they're working on it for at least 3 months in every living story episode, right?
I think it's 9 months per story.
Yeah,
6+ months.
They have more than one team working on each living episode.
You're right.
Yeah.
So they're saying they work for 9 months on something. You can assure yourself that they are working. Somebody is working on it. You can't assure yourself that somebody worked on legendary armor, or somebody worked on the story, or somebody worked on anything else in the game. You know that somebody's working right now on that living story episode. Legendary armor took so long because nobody gave a shit, probably.
No, I mean, no.
So,
for a start, legendary armor is actually a pretty good product. It took them a while because they had to like rework a lot of the engine, and they kind of fucked it up the first time. Is basically the long and the short of it, as I understand it. It's like that, but the actual end product is really good. I mean, come on, man. I mean, look.
The heavy armor.
The heavy set is really good. A lot of people like the light set as well. The medium set was a bit of a flop because of the whole trench coat thing.
It's all bad.
You know what's really funny about the medium trench coat is we memed hard about that on TeaTime for months.
Yeah, and then it actually happened, right?
And then it was a reality.
Then it was real. Yeah, and oh, dude, and then One Up talks about the HOT legendary. It's like, dude, we're like half a year into this expansion. Wait, it's been ages.
Yeah, how long has it been since 2013 when they promised precursor crafting and more legendary weapons?
Half a year. Half a year.
It's been half a year since 2013?
Yes.
There's no wonder you're so wrong about everything you've said in the past 20 minutes.
Oh my god.
Honestly, if we're going to talk about legendary armor, I got to tell you, I think no matter what they could have done, people would have been unhappy with legend. It's like ascended armor, whatever. It's people could reskin it, whatever. It's all just about the stats. Legendary armor, it's all about those freaking skins, and no matter how beautiful they are, people are going to complain about them because it's just one of it. There's just one of it, and they had to be perfect, but there's no way to be that perfect.
That's fair. I think they were actually a pretty damn good attempt. I think if they hadn't gone the trench coat route, I actually think basically no one would have complained, though. That's the counterpoint I would have there. I think no one complained about the heavy armor, except some fucking... It clipped a bit, but who cares, right? No one really complained about the light... I don't really like it. I think a lot of people didn't like the lobster tail kind of meme going on there. And then of course there was the dye channel issue, of course, with the light armor. But then I don't think the only one people didn't really like was the medium, right? Like, because honestly, I don't want to. Obviously, we don't want to talk about the Brazil video, but like, there's a lot of very valid arguments in that video, especially with regards to, like, the comparison between like the medium legendary armor and then the gem store like Ascalonian gloves or whatever is a pretty good one. Like, damn, dude, like some of the gem store stuff has got way sicker effects on it than the medium legendary armor. So a bit of a on the medium, but honestly, like, the other stuff is really good. So I don't know. I don't think it's too much of a big deal.
You said that you thought the legendary armor was a good attempt.
Yeah, I really like the heavy.
Okay.
I think the heavy is probably the best. It's easily the best skin in the game, in my opinion.
Why you're wrong.
No, Brazil, I am right. Okay.
Okay. So a good attempt at legendary armor was in beta when you could dye the COF particle effects on the COF dungeon armor different colors, and when it had fairly intricate cloth textures that dyed interestingly. That was a good attempt at legendary armor. They had something that they could have built and worked on, and they have all this like tech from like the gliders and the outfits that they like seem to have pulled off the back shelf. And legendary armor had none of that. Legendary armor's entire gimmick was that you draw your weapon out, and it changes, and it does something. The pieces shift around a little bit, or crystal spin, or you grow a trench coat at the wings.
Yeah,
I don't.
No, I think that's really cool. I definitely think the heavy is easily the best heavy set in the game, like by far. By far.
I like it.
If you could dye it, even more so.
I mean, a lot of that stuff comes down to personal taste. I think Brazil's points are about the dyeing, the effects of the cloth, and like textures and effects, right? Dyeing capabilities.
No. My point is just that legendary armor overall is not. It's just.
And my point is that no matter what they could have done, it was a setup to fail because taste is subjective. And no matter what, people are going to not like the way armor looks if they don't like that style. And it's one skin. What are you going to do?
I really wish the trench coat was tied to the legs, and I would never see it.
Yeah, because the thing is, I think that would actually be really good, right? Because think about it, right? If they done it that way, you could have the dragon wings, right, but not the trench coat. As it stands, you have to have both, right?
Yeah.
You can't get away with only having one of them, right? It's such a big problem. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we should discussing personal opinions is irrelevant. We came on this topic as a giant meme, right? But I think that was worth it, guys. I think that's worth it. I think it's worth to talk about memes. But yeah, I mean, yeah, give us content, ArenaNet. It's kind of bring it back. ArenaNet, content, please. I think it's going to be a triple release. Laying that down there. Fractal CM raids with CMs and living story. Boom.
I hope so.
Simple.
What if they?
Simple, boys.
What if they release next expansion after the third episode?
They're not going to do that.
Do you think it's a possibility?
There hasn't been enough story to do that.
You know, yeah, exactly. We haven't really gotten to the meat of Path of Fire yet.
Actually, what happens is the Scarab Plague comes and kills everybody next episode, and then
there you
Coco
go.
snaps his finger and
That's right.
population.
Oh boy! We didn't.
Oh boy!
Everybody, no
Spoilers. Ooh.
Yes. So Joko, kills everybody with the Scarab Plague, and then expansion 3 happens.
Well, expansion 3. Now, the expansion 3 is interesting, because do you really think they can wrap up this Path of Fire story very quickly at the pace that we're going through the story? Because
no.
the thing is, we've barely gone anywhere really, Boots, right? Like, we haven't done much yet in the
there's no way. It's going to be another 3 or 4 episodes after this, and
but they can't do an expansion after like one series of living story.
Of course they
right?
can. Of course they can.
I mean, I don't know, dude.
They just did.
I mean, they did, but like, I don't think they want to do that again, do they?
Why not?
Because Heart of Thorns was kind of a meme.
More time.
I mean, they kind of memed themselves during Heart of Thorns.
They made a lot of money.
They're making even more money now.
And it's going to keep going.
The
World vs. World
2019.
Oh, man.
2019.
Yeah, I think it's going to be at the end of 2019. Late 2019 is the next expansion.
Sure.
September 2019.
Do you guys
There's
think...
going to be 8 episodes of living story.
Yeah.
And then expansion.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can
Maybe
buy
not
that.
8.
I can buy that.
8 seems a bit much, but yeah.
Do you think we'll get
8
enough?
Boots.
Do you think we'll get enough story in 8 episodes though?
Yeah, they'll make it fit.
Yeah.
Do you think because I feel like we have quite a lot of work to do, right, in this story.
Like what?
So what
we
do
have
we
to do the whole
what
Joko
kind of
memes, right? We've got Joko.
You just have to take care of Joko. That's easy. Teleport behind him and stab him.
Nothing personal, kid. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Joko is a huge story, and it needs a lot of episodes to deal with him. Honestly, to give him to do him justice.
Probably like at least 4.
It's 4 max 5 episodes. They just did 6 episodes, so it's not going to be less than 6.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, but I don't know.
And a number of them will be stretched out to about 3 months, and it's going to land just like it did with Path of Fire.
So, when is when is Guild Wars 3 coming?
Never.
We don't need Guild Wars 3.
If they started working on today, 7 years from now.
7 years from now.
What if Guild Wars 3 is a mobile app that's coming out next month?
Gosh.
No, please, no.
The mobile app's going to be the Adventures of Ritlock.
Probably.
I'm hoping for Polymock. Honestly, I'm unironically hoping for Polymock.
I caught a Boots. Now what do I do?
Exactly. It could be such a good way to get cat. I mean, seriously though, all the minis actually have use.
The people will actually buy the minis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they stopped buying minis?
Well, I don't think minis are their biggest sellers, actually.
I think minis are very efficient in terms of selling because they're literally just, for the most part, minis of other things that already exist.
Yeah, they just shrink
Mini
them down.
Sabbatha?
Yeah.
Mini Sabbatha in the gem store?
Yeah.
But,
I don't know why they didn't sell Mini Doom in the gem store.
do
That's
you
a missed opportunity.
Do you think there is any reality that they ever do an engine update?
You mean like a total engine update, or? I mean, they do incremental changes, but not.
No, I'm talking
I don't have enough.
I'm talking. It actually runs at more than 30 frames a second.
I don't have enough technical expertise to know what kind of an undertaking that would be on a live game.
It would be.
It would be gargantuan. It would be absurd, right? How many mount skins? How many blackline? Right, ArenaNet, just fucking DM me on Twitter right now. How many blackline keys do I got to buy for that shit? Okay.
It's not even just money, but time. Like, it's time consuming, right?
You'd have to hire like a team of probably 15 of the best coders
15?
on the entire planet.
Well, at some point there becomes a point of saturation where you just can't have any more people working on it, right?
200 million keys.
200 million keys.
200 million black.
Let's be real.
This Thursday, MightyTeapot's opening 200 million keys. Make sure you're there.
Yeah.
Oh my! Think of all those boosters they'll get after that. That'd be amazing.
All I want for Christmas, just don't do any content. Just give me 60 frames a second, okay? Seriously, don't make me like spend. Listen, okay. Listen, there was a tragedy. Okay, look, just send me the cash. There we go. I'm gonna send Ben P 200 million keys, and he'll hook me up. Okay, all right. It's job done. Okay, boys, it's job done. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that will ever happen. I would love to see I would love to see Guild Wars 3 actually. I think it would be really good. But then again, I think
why?
I don't think Well, because then they can rework the engine.
That's the only reason.
We were talking about this a little bit on
I mean, it's a pretty big
stream
reason.
the other day, actually. No, it's not. No, it's not just about the engine. It's the fact that I think that the original vision for Guild Wars 2 has a much more dynamic world. I actually think that they kind of encountered some problems with actually implementing that into the game, and I think that a new engine would probably kind of really allow them to do what they actually want to do. Right, with the game.
So, like, I mean, the one bonus I would say about
easier.
that, the one, not, there's probably more than one, but one of the benefits of doing that, I guess, is you relaunch with the ability to say, here's a new game with maybe a PvP scene that we're going to try to build from scratch. And it's going to...
No win trading.
With no win trading. But, I mean, that, like... World versus world PvP, if they want to add that into Guild Wars 3, they probably would want to step back a bit, maybe only keep one of them, but they could restart that way, and it's a lot easier than rebuilding a base.
And unfortunately, I'm in the same boat as Scorns. We're in the same rowboat. A new engine would just mean Guild Wars 3.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I don't think they would ever... They'll do, as you're saying, so they'll do some minor changes, but... No, I mean, new engine for Guild Wars 2 is blue sky thinking, right? I mean, like, not even... I mean, I don't know. Like, Blizzard did a lot of rework on WoW, right? But that's Blizzard, right? And that was probably unbelievably difficult for them to do that, right? So I don't think it's...
I would even really like to see a DX11 update, but...
Yeah.
They've expressed before, and I don't remember who it is at ArenaNet who's talked on Reddit about it before, but they've expressed on Reddit before that DX11 doesn't do as much as people expect it to do. On the other hand, it does enough to, I think, help the game out quite a bit, in my opinion.
I don't know. Wait for DirectX 15.
Yeah.
12 doesn't even
just,
well, so...
Can we just make it so I don't have to upgrade to Windows 10, please? So,
no,
that's correct. Windows 10 is malware.
Can we not do that, dude? Can we not?
They're gonna make you.
Do you still have the same PC spec? You've got a 5960X and a Titan Black.
I got the same.
How old are those? Like 4 years?
I guess they're relatively old for computers, for computer parts.
I have a 4770K, which is a little on the aging side, but I also have a 1080. Yeah. And like, it is just like it's so poorly optimized.
No, it's just that your big ass 1080 doesn't do much right for Guild Wars 2. It's all about you need a lot of oomph on the CPU, and it has to be single thread as well. Single core performance rather, I should say, is more appropriate.
Really?
Yeah. If you want to play Guild Wars 2, me and Ajax joke about this a little bit. You want to get an old i3. And you want to just overclock. You want to put liquid nitrogen on it, and you want to overclock it to 13 gigahertz.
Yeah.
Then
just pour your liquid nitrogen on it for every boss fight. Yeah. And you're good to go.
And then you'll get 60 FPS in Guild Wars 2. You know.
Why would you want an i3 over like a Core 2 Duo or something?
Well, we said that just as a joke for me. Any old. Pick any processor that you can just get an old Pentium, just get it all the way up to 13 gigahertz. You know,
I think a Core 2 Duo is like the actual, like an overclockable Core 2 Duo is probably the optimal CPU for Guild Wars 2.
Yeah,
where you like legit just like run it at like 5.4 gigahertz, and maybe it only lasts 6 months, but that'll be the best 6 months of Guild Wars 2 you've ever played. My 1080, like I have the CUDA argument in the launcher. I don't know if I haven't looked at it before, but my 1080 runs at like 50% usage whenever I play Guild Wars 2. I've been looking at it after I did that. The wiki says that it's like 40 something. But like my problem personally, I need a dual Xeon workstation, and I need a Titan and Quadro because I do too much video work now. Real video work, not Guild Wars 2 shit posts.
And here I am with my poor man's 760. So,
yeah,
760 is not a bad card.
Guild Wars
better than my
3,
670.
I think I think obviously, Guild Wars 3 is very much contingent on how well the next expansion goes. I think they would maybe consider a Guild Wars 3 after this coming expansion. I think maybe they would consider announcing it at least, and maybe they do another.
It's got to be Cantha first. Cantha first, then it's got to be Guild Wars in space, and then you could do Guild Wars 3.
Guild Wars in space.
Yeah.
Guild Wars in space. I don't know. But I think Path of Fire, thanks to mount skins, I think Path of Fire is actually a massive success. You know? I
big time.
I'm not even joking.
Big time.
It was a stroke of
genius. Not either.
It was a stroke of genius for ArenaNet to add mount skins, because damn, people love that shit, dude.
Yeah.
2,000 gems for the Griffin lion skin.
Nike.
Show me shirt.
I think he bought one. I don't know if he still has it or not, but it's good.
It's good. It's good. It's just just give me that Guild Wars 3. I want the Hall of Monuments. Give us the Hall of Monuments, but it's Guild Wars 2 Hall of Monuments, so I can start chasing all those achievements down. Oh no, I have to do achievements then. I've chased down loads of achievements. Then I can get those 40 home points. So in Guild Wars 3, I've got that swag.
There are so many achievements. What would the Guild Wars 2 Hall of Monuments be like?
For every 500.
I guess it would be Doom CM.
You know what they could do to make it really cool? It could be an old Lion's Arch. Old Lion's Arch is the Hall of Monuments. That'd be good.
But so think about this for a second though. So you don't have heroes, right? But what if you had to do legendary weapon unlocks, raid boss kills? I'm trying to think of the tick off achievements, right? You get 1 point for this, 1 point.
Yeah. Definitely, some of it's can be related just to straight up AP.
Hitting legend in PvP in a season or something would be a tick.
Yeah.
I don't know. Rank 5,000 is a tick. Or something.
Rank 5,000.
I don't know. What do you think? What are other good ticks?
It's gonna be that stuff. It's gonna be have a certain amount of rank. Maybe you've got to a certain league, or
gems have you bought?
How many mount skins do you have?
Winning automated tournaments.
Yeah, winning ATs, world versus world rank.
How much of your wardrobe is unlocked?
Yeah, a bunch of skins unlocked. All the raid stuff, obviously. Probably all the dungeon stuff as well, actually, just as a meme, right? All the fractal stuff as well. And then just copious.
I feel like there's so much more.
There's so much.
Yeah.
So much. Yeah.
How many Black Lion chests have you opened?
If they ever add Hall of Monuments to Guild Wars 2, every raid seller is going to be so damn happy, man. Holy shit. They're going to make so much money if they end up going in that direction, right? It's going to get crazy, dude.
Do you think people would be really upset? I guess they would be, right?
What would they be? I kind of want to say no.
Not just about raids, but I mean, let's say you had to get the legend in PvP or something, and
yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe.
People would probably complain.
I mean, people get upset quite often about.
People would get upset if it's even remotely difficult. So they'd be upset. Honestly, they'd be upset if even doing raids was on the list. Honestly, because I think.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
What was the hardest thing in the current Hall of Monuments to complete?
The hardest thing, I guess it was beating all the elite areas.
Yeah, probably.
Of course, all right.
I certainly didn't do that.
This is such a weird thing. You're alienating 99% of the player base. Putting something in the game that not everyone can get is not alienating the player base, in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, Legend in PvP would be insane, especially for NA, because the population just doesn't exist anymore to get to.
And it's as a bonus to a game that's not even part of the game that you're currently playing. Yeah. It's a new game.
Not only that, but so in Guild Wars 1, there was 5 categories. So you don't have to necessarily max out unless you want the max of everything, but you didn't have to max out every category.
Also, I mean, the bonuses is not it's not game changing either, right? It's a few skins.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean, I think it would. I think, in my opinion, I'm just going to say this. I actually think that if you get Legend in PvP in this game, hell yeah, you should get something special in the next game, actually. Fuck it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you definitely should, actually. And if you win a monthly AT as well.
The title.
fuck it. Yeah, sure. I definitely think you should actually. It should carry over.
Certain titles could carry over, maybe.
Yeah, I think you could have you could also get something for getting plat and getting gold. Sure, why not, right? But why not have something for legend? Why is it so bad that the stuff that's exclusive? I don't know. I'm just an old man, aren't I? Am I just an old man from the old days?
I
of
think
gaming?
you are.
I don't think so.
Also, I just don't know why we're talking about possible.
I don't know.
Bonuses in Guild Wars 3.
Yeah, Guild Wars 3.
Shut up, Boots. I want Hall of Monuments for Guild Wars 2.
Yeah. I don't know. Wait. What should we talk? Okay, then, Boots. What should we talk about then, boy? What do you want to talk about?
You wanna shill yourselves?
Well,
Wow, Boots wants to go.
I have a headache. What do you want from me?
I wanna.
Okay, I'm fucking done. Fuck this shit.
So it's my show now.
No, oh my god.
Welcome to Boot Time with my guests.
Time.
Boots bad
one
builds.
boot.
Yep. I don't know what to say. I'm not a very good show host.
Mace,
Trash.
short bow, renegade.
Mace, pistol, thief.
Mace, pistol, thief. The
People-
thief shirts.
Hey.
The
Mace, pistol,
shirts,
thief.
the face.
It's the best conceivable weapon combo.
Alright,
I mean,
Teapot. I have a subject for you.
Okay.
What if, and hear me out, what if Rev had Greatsword and,
Okay.
hold on, the damage is, none of it is unblockable, but some of it is unavoidable and uninvulnerable.
That would be stupid and unfun.
No, but like
There you
only
go.
one ability. Just to counter Mesmer. Like if the next expansion, you know how basically Guardian counters Thief kind of, and Thief counters Ellie's and stuff like that. So what if the next expansion makes all the elite specialization counter the other, you know, the old counters?
What if?
What?
Hold on. What if
What?
unicorns poop leprechauns?
Yeah.
Shadownin,
What if-
So
no,
you
no.
have Mesmer has lots of invulns, and then Rev comes in with his big dick grave sword, and he just, oh, you can't avoid this now. You can't blurred frenzy out of this. Or Thief comes into comes to a Guardian and just says, oh well, fuck you. You die instantly.
What?
Okay,
No,
well,
Realize
no,
all of those things already happen, right?
yeah. So question actually, just to bring this back into sort of like normal territory. This is something we sort of talked about once or twice. Like, do you think they would ever introduce unevadable skills?
There already are.
Like what?
No,
Already are.
What's an unavailable skill?
Yeah.
Boots, have you ever done a raw?
No, you mean some
Oh,
PvP. You mean some
okay.
PvP.
I mean for PvP.
for PvP.
Then they just have to take the champion undead warrior out of a raw and put it in.
Put that as like the Blue Lord.
I will tell you that unevadable greatswords are the worst possible idea that anyone could ever have to put into this game. I would
At
rather
least
have
staff,
legendary
air 5.
armor round 2 than unevadable greatswords in PvP. I'd still be the best PvPer in the entire game. I mean, I'm not bad like
Yeah, the
Naru,
best-
and I have to win trade to get to the top of the leaderboard.
Wait, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you got the star 5. Yeah, oh yeah, DH pull, of course. Yeah, DH pull is fucking weird, dude. Yeah, and the guy, all the like the walls, and stuff, like the
Pulmonary
rocks and
impact.
stuff. I guess
I don't know. I don't know if I could say pulmonary impact counts because you could dodge the original pulmonary impact, and it's not like you could dodge burning, right? Like you can't. A burning tick is the same thing as pulmonary impact in some ways, so you can't say that that's unavoidable.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a few, I guess. I don't know. I guess I was thinking more of like an attack that's not something people walk into or Yeah,
Blurred Frenzy cannot dodge it.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't think that sort of thing is good. I don't think an attack that negates a core mechanic like dodging
yeah.
is good. I don't think that's good. And it makes sense on DH F1, right? Because it's literally, you've impaled someone. You have penetrated someone with the spear, right? Okay, so it makes sense you could pull them in even if they're dodging, right? That makes sense. Okay, you can't dodge through a Guardian line or an Ellie rock wall or a static field. That makes sense. That makes sense, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
But hitting someone with a great sword and you can't evade it, no, like, that doesn't. No.
Okay.
It's a great sort of quickness.
I stand corrected.
Yes.
Brazil, your image is very, very stuck for me.
What?
No, he's just
He's just very still. He's just
What
silent.
image?
Shannon, this is because you are a prey. He's being very still because he is the predator. He's about to eat you.
Shadownin, I gotta tell you, your image is also pretty still for me too.
Yeah, we don't see. There's that much moving. I mean,
Boots, I'll send you.
Wait, also, Shannon, are you some kind of dragon, by the way? I mean, what's going on there with the eye on this picture?
Don't.
I mean,
He's the haiku dragon.
I am the Baiku dragon. It's like haiku, only very bootleg.
Hey.
A good haiku is 5 syllables followed by 7 and then 5.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
That's the perfect haiku, by the way.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow.
It's the perfect haiku. It is the correct amount of syllables.
Yep,
It
okay.
defines exactly what it is.
Yep.
It's the perfect haiku.
Do you have one for us as an example?
That was
it.
it.
That was it. That was the point. That was a haiku. Yeah.
A good haiku is 5 syllables followed by 7.
No. I want an actual one.
You're
That one
exposed, Dinks.
sucks.
Wow.
Want one about Joko.
Yeah.
Go.
Praise Joko. Praise him.
Wait, what?
Praise Joko.
Praise
what?
Praise him. Praise him.
No,
Praise
that
Joko.
sucks.
Praise
Try
him.
again.
What? Fuck.
Shadownin, read your story for PR. No, please no. Not here. Not now.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll tell you what then. I think it's
We
time.
gotta put this back on the rails.
It's time to hit the No, well, I mean, do we have anything to talk about? I don't think we have. I think we've done everything. I think we've covered it all. I think it's time for you to
Underwater,
go. No, I'm just gonna say it.
No content.
Yeah. Boots, he can't have. You know, he's a fucking drunk. Okay, I'm exposing Boots. Okay.
Yeah.
Every
going away party.
Every time you guys
Where you
write a
going?
mean comment about Boots, guys.
A friend of
Okay.
mine was going away.
Every time that happens, he drinks. Okay, to combat the crippling depression he gets from you guys writing mean comments on his videos. Okay.
Every time the word wrong appears in Twitch chat, I have a shot and die a little inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Wow. Shadownin, read your story when you win Mystic Builds again, so we never get to hear it. Ouch.
User, I'm gonna say one thing. Nobody wants to be a Reddit mod.
You're a Reddit mod?
Why are you a Reddit mod, user? Explain.
Oh wait. Oh, I thought you were saying that you were a Reddit mod.
No,
I was
no,
gonna
he
say
is-
That explains a lot.
Okay, Shadownin, seeing as you don't really have anything to shill, we'll do the shilling and we'll go with Shadownin first. Shadownin, lay it down. Will you win Mystic Builds ever again? And also, will you destroy Random User? Yes or no?
Yes, obviously. Also, I do have a few things to show.
Okay,
I have my
go.
Twitter.
do it.
I have my Twitter.
Okay.
You can,
Okay.
which is hold on.
Do you say funny things on it?
Sometimes. No,
Okay.
normally I don't. I don't really tweet a lot. It's I believe I forgot what it is already. Shit. It is at Shadownin Thomas, and you can go on there and bother me there, you know, or just go
Link
to
that
my house
shit.
and bother me.
Link it,
Oh,
Shadownin.
no!
Everyone-
Don't open up that invitation. Trust
Link
me,
it.
it's not
Link
worth it.
Shadownin's
I'll link
Twitter.
Okay.
Okay,
I
do
mostly retweet your stuff, Teapot.
it. Oh, nice, boy.
Even better.
There you go.
Confirm.
Follow Shadownin on Twitter. Let's go, boys. Okay, let's see. The returning meme. It is MMO Inks just above Shadownin. MMO Inks is back. He left TeaTime, man. He hates us. He despises our community, especially Twitch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Inks, what are you up to these days?
I'd like to welcome Kevin back. Kevin, welcome back. It's good to have you back in Salt and back on the Discord. That's it. That's all I have to say. I'm happy Kevin's back.
That's it?
Yep.
Great.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, alright, okay. And then the returning man literally removed himself. He died for Legendary Armor. He died for Legendary Armor Dies. It is Brazil DNT. Okay? He fought ArenaNet, and ArenaNet kind of won. Feels bad, man.
Ouch. 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 Ouch.
You think they won that?
Well, well, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I think you may have won in that you are enjoying life right now, right?
How did ArenaNet win that? There's still ArenaNet still works at ArenaNet.
Wait.
They love it there.
Why?
Because they make a lot of money and they don't have to do a lot.
Well, they make money and there's snacks and it's a good environment to work in.
They still have a YouTube channel, I guess.
I have a YouTube channel. I took mine off of my own accord.
That is true.
Because
that is
true. Well, sorry. A little bit of story time.
Oh.
So, Guild Wars 2, for me, got to the point where, like, I had some friends that I raided with, and we were all, I don't know, enjoying each other's company, whatever. And, like, I went through a couple raid groups and guilds, and, you know, it was fine, it was cool. A good portion of them didn't really work out. And so, like, the final raid group that I ended up with, everybody just got to the point where they didn't like it. We all just kind of went along because, I don't know, some people wanted clears and everybody felt kind of guilty and responsible, whatever the case is, and then everybody kind of started hating each other. And, like, I was at a point where, like, I think I was pursuing a real job, got one, like, was really tired of being a whale and weighing almost 400 pounds. And, like, I decided, you know, I could probably do a little bit more than play Guild Wars 2. And so, like, my masterpiece, what's the phrase? My magnum opus was the Legendary Armor video.
Yeah.
And I thought, alright, I'm going to drop the mic and I'm going to walk away from it. So,
you won. Brazil wins.
I'm at a point where, like, I'm pretty pleased. I'm making progress personally. It's good. I still have a little ways to go.
Are you Thanos? Are you Thanos, Brazil?
Thanos is a casual.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. But anyway, there you go. It's Brazil.
Let me link my
YouTube channel. Link your YouTube. Yeah, Brazil makes pistol videos. He is the one who exposed ArenaNet, still exposes ArenaNet on a daily basis. I miss your Twitter, actually, man. Honestly, I miss your Twitter so fucking much, dude. Just remake your Twitter, okay? Just come on. Just come on.
I'll do that.
Just make a Twitter again. That was so good. Oh my god, that was good. Anyway, be sure to, you know, observe Brazil's videos. So yeah, he's around a little bit, I guess. He's still enjoying life, exposing ArenaNet. And then, who do we have here? No one. Oh, wait, nope. Nope. It is with the headache. It is with the going away party, okay? It is World of Enders. Bootspur.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah. Balance patch coming. That'll be fun. Gonna do some stuff with that for sure. World of Enders.
Yeah.
Your bot linked my old YouTube channel.
Yeah, it still does. It's not gonna. Yeah, I mean, the bot still links that one. Yeah. It still links that one. I have to fix that. I have to fix it to rewrite the new one. But anyway, there you go. Be sure to follow all of those guys. And if you enjoyed this stream, guys, hit the follow button. If you really liked it, you could even subscribe, guys. You could even do that. That would be pretty crazy, huh? Support the stream. Support esports.
Hey,
all that exciting stuff. Yo, what's up?
I was feeling very ill the other day around.
Okay.
And then I was thinking, I need to go to the doctors.
Yep.
But I still need to keep up with my Mighty Teapot sub count, I still gotta get those, months in a row.
Yep.
So I was thinking, how can I get both? And then suddenly it dawned on me. Twitch Prime.
Wait, what? What?
I still have the money for your sub and to go to the doctor. Suddenly, when I sub to you, Teapot,
you should really take notes from Roy. He does this way better.
But before we go, how about that PvP tournament the other day? That was pretty cool, huh? Did you see the last match was insane.
NA managed to win. NA won.
It was something.
Anyway, yeah. It was awesome, man. It was hype as fuck. But anyway, yeah.
I'm excited.
Make him stop, please.
Never. Never.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Follow, subscribe, follow me on Twitter as well. Not MMO Inks. Remember, guys, we're not done with that. Okay.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that.
Hit it hard, guys. Hit that follow button. Subscribe, follow. Come back and watch every single day. We'll see you guys around. Brazil is about to slay. By the looks of this. Right, we're gonna go host someone. There we go. I guess it'll be great. Hang on.
Badass
the host.
spinner.
But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys around on. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the internet.
In the mist.
In the mist. If we see you in real life, that would be kind of weird, but maybe that'll happen too. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you later.